Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss this article called or a medium article called Building a Mind Reader at Swiggy Using Data Science, and we have with us ChandraBhan Pandey and Gaurav Khuraana. Hello folks.
Hello.
So so what's the background
Hi.
behind this, right? So hey, we saw this link article a month back, and then at least I read some part of it, and then I found it quite interesting. I said, wow, this looks good, and this will be a great article for discussion, and hence we gave enough time for people to go through it, and then now we have assembled just to discuss about what is it, what did we understand from this, what are the lessons or the new things that we learned, and then how would we test it, and then finally any open questions and discussions, right? So yeah, here we are building a mind reader at Swiggy using data science. uh, it has, I'll not go through this, it's, I feel it's a waste of time. You can go through on your own and then maybe watch this video, right? And so thank you. The author is Akhilesh Singh. No, it should be right at the top, right? Shreyas. So Shreyas M, thank you very much for this. We loved it, and you will see how much we have grasped, understood through this discussion. Yes. So Chandrabhan, Gaurav, your first thoughts. Anyone can pitch in.
So I think I have read almost 70 to 80% of it before this call, and it's good to see that how there are so much that goes behind the scene, because we just see that every company is like there is a marketplace where merchants are there and somebody is shopping, but how we can customize it and how there are various kinds of problems. Like there are three tweets that are mentioned that summarizes everything of this problem in this same article, where somebody is telling that it takes 10 minutes to order but 10 hours to decide. So and the various categories and the way the problem is analyzed. So it's really like how to test. Firstly, it's a problem to recognize it, that there is a problem that exists, and then think of what is the solution. And then, because it is most related to machine learning and like there is a data science involved, so it would be interesting to discuss how to test such solutions.
Got it. So this is the tweet that Gaurav was talking about. Okay, thank you, Gaurav. And identification of a problem, whether you, does it even exist, right? Recognizing that there could be a problem. That's the first part, and then you mentioned about how much effort and thought goes behind, say, a feature, which we take it for granted, but then there's a lot of effort that goes behind this, lot of thinking that goes behind this. So thank you, Chandraban and Mahathee. Chandraban, any thoughts?
Not really, I'm sorry. I'm just joining to listen.
Okay, thank you.
This problem is a classic problem. I mean, everybody faces this, and I really get irritated when I have to think for a lot of time. I have so much of desire to order a new dish, but every time, like they said, I order the same thing, same restaurant. Also, I don't even change anything. The good part about this problem is I did not know that this was a problem. I mean, that Swiggy has been thinking to solve, or it's a problem really for a lot of people. I thought choices, maybe I'm not good at decision making. And the other thing that I learned was some new terms like wedgeness score, geohash level. I did not really get it, and I understood. And the viewpoints were also good, like about two item cards, candidate cards. How do you get the ranking? And it was, for me, it was a recollection of the data science course that I had done earlier. So the in and nearest neighbor identification. So it was a good one. That was the perspective. About testing, I haven't thought much because I just gave only a one-time read. So
So, which data science course did you do?
when I was in Infosys, they sponsored a course through Triple IT Hyderabad. So I've done a data science, AI, and ML course from there.
Okay. So, do you recommend? Is this the one?
Through Talent Sprint. So it was very fast paced. I used to feel very anxious, but I learned a lot of things through Data Camp. There is one site called Data Camp, and many courses are free there. So I learned a lot of things and terminology. And there is Andrew NG, a YouTube channel. So I did a lot of background work behind that.
And this is really a good site, Data Camp. I learned Power BI from that, and
Yeah,
it's
and
commendable.
also Python is also very nicely explained.
Okay.
They give one course for free, I think.
Huh.
Something like that.
Got it. So let's just say start learning for free, or we can just say explore. So, okay. Coming back to the. Oops, sorry. Okay, so thanks, Mahathee. One is, of course, the new terms that you mentioned, and then the course which helped you, and then data camp, and then Andrew NG. Right. So yeah, thank you very much. And so I tried doing something. I had just started. So I was trying to group it into different terms like problem, the terms. What are the new terms that we learned? Choice fatigue, time pressed customers, personalized item level recommendation engine. Challenges was in fact highlighted, and then there were few questions like how is fresh. I mean, they said we have to change every day the itemized cart. How is that different from a favorite? You could, can I order something and then say this is my favorite order? How is that different, right? So that was my question. I don't have answers. And there was like veg folk shouldn't get a non-veg dish. Now, at the initial thought, I felt that hey, those who order veg need not always eat veg. For example, I'm someone who eats both, right? And then, but in certain cases, when I'm eating veg, I just eat veg. So then I realized in the later part of the article, they had highlighted that who have always ordered veg, something like that, right? So I was trying to draw it, trying to visualize whatever we is there in the article, and then tried my hand at auto draw, but then I said okay, maybe mind map is good enough. And then there was a reference, the book. So this was my attempt at going through it, and then because I couldn't finish the entire article for a mind map, I just went ahead and read the article. So now let's take the next round of things. So if we go section by section of this article, so here it's like the intro section, and then a storytelling of why the problem is a problem, and then an example solution that instead of showing all the restaurants and all the dishes, how about an example of an itemized, personalized candidate cart which has just 2 items, and then you can quickly click on add to cart or view cart, and then you go ahead and order. But then while they go ahead and implement this or thought of this, what are the challenges that they might face? They highlighted these 4 challenges. So any thoughts on these challenges? scale, subjectivity, item availability, freshness, seasonality, micro personalization. Any thoughts around these four challenges?
Firstly, I had a doubt when they came up with two item cards and candidate cards. Can two item cards be subset of candidate cards? I mean, or candidate cards? I don't know which is subset and superset. So this was one. Why two? I mean, why have they distinguished between the two?
Mm-hmm. So, Gaurav, you want to answer that?
Yeah, before coming to that land, also like I think the point you mentioned before, veg, non-veg, and this point. So I had a point which touch bases both the points. So it's like some many times you order when you are in group, like we are meeting in reunion and all. So we have various set of friends, right? So we order for ourselves, but many a times we order when we have friends.
Correct.
So in those cases, order would be large and people want variety. So in that case, definitely maybe this two item things might not work unless like we are catering to a problem which I heard in Shark Tank yesterday, that somebody wants a budget thing and they want for themselves, right? So then maybe two, or maybe for two people it will work, but for bigger set of people it might not work. And for these challenges, what I felt was that the problem is a little hard to solve because it has too many variance factors that they have to take care of: veg, non-veg, and whether the person is vegetarian, what they want to order, at what time of the day. So there are various factors, and so sometimes thinking about all of them, we'll have to take maybe one by one and give some maybe priority to these problems, that which is like give some ranking or give some marks that this contributes this much. Then also I think it will be solved to a certain extent. Because like the scenario I give, right? One person, because they even included that for North Indian breakfast is something else, for South Indian breakfast is something else, right? I might want a paratha, but somebody wants an idli, and
Correct.
making that combination from food wise will look very odd, but algorithm has to adjust that also into picture somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little tricky also. And so yeah, these are various things that they have included. So but yeah, it caters to so many problems, but good that they have maybe categorized it into less main categories.
Okay. And one question: has anyone experienced this? Were you part of this A/B test? Have you seen this? See, somewhere here they highlight how it will look on the UI.
No, I was not a part.
Okay. Chandrabhan,
Sorry, I
Gaurav,
didn't got it. What is AB thing?
A/B.
Testing in production.
So,
AB testing
So,
you're talking about?
so were you part of
Yes.
that A/B group? That will you get it? Will you not get it? Right? Did you see this in Swiggy? Do you use Swiggy?
I use it, but yeah, I have not seen it yet.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So
same
this is
here.
okay. Swiggy suggests is the name of the feature, and how it will look is something like this.
Actually, this was similar. This looks similar to a feature in Swiggy, which is called Swiggy Pop. Earlier, it was there when I was. I don't know. I've seen this 2 years back. So what Swiggy Pop does is what like the same thing. Whatever you as your frequently ordered thing, it'll give you a minimal list. I mean, you don't have to face so many choices. So I don't know whether this is subset of that.
Yeah, I have seen Swiggy Pop, and
Yeah.
let's see, it's still there or not. Let's quickly browse through. What is it? Imagine a typical journey. Find too much hard work. Very curate. Single serve meals within a fixed radius around the customer, and it's mostly a meal for one. Flat price, free of delivery, but at an extra. I think Swiggy Pop customer. So okay, this is an article for one more day maybe. Problem statement. Swiggy launches Pop. Pop you see images and then you click, but it's just one image. Dal tadka and ghee rice combo, how different is it from what are we seeing right now in Swiggy Suggest? When was this written? 2018. This one is Jan 2023. Correct? So interesting. Swiggy Pop, MVP crossed, engineering began, bug bash happened, finally Pop was born, and the journey continues. Do we see Pop now? No, right?
No, I don't see that now.
Is Pop the Swiggy Suggest? Okay, that's a question for Twitter and for anyone who is reading it and comes from Swiggy or knows the background. Okay, let's move on. What else? What else do you want to share about this article? What was your reaction for this image? Food intelligence taxonomy.
Before I read this, I had a confusion between dish category and dish family, because both to me means the same, and here they have classified it as different, and it should actually be dish category and dish subcategory to simplify for ease of understanding.
But is it not different? Like panini is like suppose if you want to order paneer, but in which category is coming? If it's in evening, then it could be called as snacks. If in the dinner time, it would be something else.
So you're saying the same, but do you call it as a dish, or isn't dish the complete item? Like a paneer butter masala is a dish?
Correct. So that is at item level. What they are calling it as item, the actual thing. Rest all is virtual.
Got it. Okay, so what's an example of a dish family? Where does paneer fit in, or paneer butter masala fit in?
I think so. If I would categorize, maybe instead of like if paneer dish we are talking about, it would come Indian, and let's say you are ordering in the snacks, like evening time, it's a snacks. And then what category paneer is that? Like paneer can be in a sandwich also, and paneer can be like what do you call paneer seekh kebab, something that comes in a stick kind of thing, or it could be a gravy item as well. So based on that, they can classify, and then paneer will come, and then the actual dish. So based on what they have classified, so it depends that at what level that we want to go in.
What is a panini?
I think it would be a item by which that thing is prepared, and that is the main ingredient in that dish.
So here it is. It looks like a sandwich. Okay, so going back, if this is a sandwich and it feeds into a sandwich and toast, and then the time of the meal, and then cuisine. Panni is Italian here, what we understood. Okay.
And the reason that they would have put like in the below somewhere in the example, that it's given that like you might like Chinese, but at not all the times the same dish in Chinese. Maybe at one time you want the soup category, but at other time maybe you want something else which is Chinese but not soup.
So that's micro personalization. I mean, it's so good that when you see these points being thought of and well explained, most of the times it's not that people don't know this, they know it, but they're not able to tie it into a coherent story. But this article does very well. Okay, so
And also, like, while creating, that gives another understanding also, that how important is to analyze at requirement level, because if you miss any of these portion, the overall algorithm that will get generated might not produce the results because of maybe one or two factors which were not considered.
got it, got it. There are at least 10 more other factors that have not been considered as well, which maybe they felt it's not important.
Mm-hmm.
See, you can't have all the factors affecting a decision all the time. For example, what about first time users? Will you still go? I mean, what will you suggest them? They have no history of ordering. What if someone has 2 to 3 apps? Zomato, Swiggy, Uber Eats, whatever, right? So, on those lines, what if they order from multiple restaurants? What if they order and then they are like maybe a PG, paying guest owner? They don't order just for them, but then for everyone in the, like how you mentioned about the friends and things like that, right? So, what if they aggregate for their office? What if they aggregate for uh, a client visit, different occasions? The options, the choices, the factors are so many. Um, it kind of is interesting to get to a level where we can understand and say which are the important factors and which are not, which we kind of do in testing as well. It's not that there are only 5 or 6 factors that affect a test. There are hundreds of factors, but we decide that, oh, these 90 factors we assume and go ahead, continue the test till we see something that might force us to go pick one of the 90 ignored or assumed factors, right? So, good. The how of it: rule generation and then retrieval and ranking of candidate cards. First of all, determining valid cards, and then once you have determined the valid cards, like the Bangalore and Mumbai example, now imagine the scale also, right? It's not just 2 cities, so many cities. And how do you, what thoughts crossed your mind when you read all of this, especially these two, the how part? Mahathee?
I feel maybe this could be a pilot project initially, and I mean, any for feature is released in a particular state or place, and then like Uber Eats also, when it came out, it was released to a select few audience and with a select few users. And even when LinkedIn releases features, you don't see everything for everybody, because when I was suggesting the schedule feature to somebody initially, they were not seeing, and I could not understand the reason behind why they weren't seeing. But automatically after 2-3 months, when I saw, there was the same feature for that same person. So when I asked LinkedIn people, they said it's a rollout, it's a limited rollout. They are rolling out in batches. So it's like that, and maybe these kind of projects cannot be implemented at a larger scale in the first instance itself. They have to do some trial, and maybe they should take some users feedback. I don't know the implementation level challenges. Also, although they wrote so many challenges, I feel one challenge at a time, if they could address, it would be great. And if there is any video that they had, except for that implementation part, they did not show a video where this project was successfully implemented, or did any user have any impact after releasing Swiggy Suggest or something like that.
So why would you think that they would release the video?
I mean, it creates a good impact, no? If I see something like, for example, if somebody is benefiting through something, if you see a good video, you will also like to try and take a shot, right? So I feel maybe that for me, I'm a video person. I don't read through text and all. For me, anything that you show, if you show me through a video, it has a greater impact.
Got it. So this is 1 month old.
Okay.
But if it is 1 month old, it's not that they started 2 months back, right? They must have started way back. Or maybe, who knows, 1 month dedicated team, war room, and then did all of this. And this is part of the exercise to roll out. We don't know. Maybe they'll release, maybe they'll not.
Okay.
And what is the schedule feature that you were talking about?
Schedule feature, as in not in in LinkedIn or Twitter, you can schedule your posts. I mean, you don't have to write your post at that time itself. You can write your post. There'll be a clock kind of a symbol, and you can schedule your post. So initially, when I saw that feature, it was there in my profile, and when my friend I was trying it, it was not there. So I could not understand the difference. Why the difference? LinkedIn is the same for everybody. So why the difference? So when I asked the customer care of LinkedIn, they told me this as the explanation. They are rolling it out in batches.
Got it. So
I see this like Rahul was telling me that yes, I think it's in phone. I don't find it here, that feature. And also like to Mahathee, I think many product groups, what they do is firstly they release it at various level. Like for example, if you see Windows 11 in settings, if you go to update, so there are 3 channels: dev, beta, and dev, beta, and there is the normal one. So in dev they almost release a build every day or something. So there are chances that you will see that broken. And in beta version, they will do a little slowly, so that things are so. What I think is that if people enroll for, like in your mobile app, also in Android, I have seen in Android that if you open any app in Swiggy, I just opened, so there is an option that coming that beta test is full. So generally, if we sign up for those, so generally they release it for their employees, right, who are having a particular @swiggy.com. So that way, many a times things get tested. So that's why in various big products, you will not see sometimes basic issues, because it has already been tested, and with their employees and their build, they can get those logs and all because they have those permissions and all. So that way it becomes easier for a company to test those things. And sometimes that is the blue green deployment also, that some people are having X version and some people are having X.1 version, due to which these features will be a little different appearing. That A/B testing only, I think.
correct.
Okay.
A/B testing, interesting point. Is A/B test given to certain folks is one question to be answered, and then the other is A/B test is variation test. You show someone one version of the same feature, the other version of the same feature, and you see which one gets more hits or meets the metrics. That is one. And the question is it always for certain section of people or to the general public, right? So yeah, something to think about or to find out. Play Store, Google Play Store. Can we be a beta tester?
I have, like, for many apps, generally I sign up for them unless they start breaking. So then I exit for a few apps. But yeah, you'll find an option join as a beta tester. Then some of the features will come early.
So let's say
Even in WhatsApp, it's there. So WhatsApp you will see early.
maybe we need to sign in to get the feature of beta test.
Correct, I think. Yeah.
Okay, fine. So we go back here and so the how part, there were two things. So any more details here? This is the cart, I mean the family pairs, and then the retrieval of candidate cards. So customers own order history is that continuously ordering veg versus that one, and overall platform orders is where they had so Geohash. So we'll come back to this. Geohash, Mahathee, you still have a question or you have got some idea of it?
I don't know. I feel Geohash means geography. I thought. I don't know.
Yeah. So I searched for it, and it's looks like it gives a letter, a unique identifier for a specific region on Earth. So let's go here. Interesting. I did not see this when I searched using a normal window. In incognito, this came up straight away. Oh, nice. Is this how? It's a geocoding method used to encode geographic coordinates into a short string of digits and letters, delineating on an area on a map, which is called a cell, with varying resolutions. More characters, more precise. Okay. An example of geohash is this coordinate, this and this coordinates being converted into a geohash of this. Max length of geohash is 12, and this is 3 plus 3, 6, 7. How does it work? So there are different levels: base 32 alphabet encoding, characters A to Z, excluding A, I, L and O. Why do you think they are excluding this? A, I, L, O. Okay. What's unique? A, I, L, O, geohash.
Okay, so as I have checked in the Bing chat engine, so it is telling that they can be confused with the digits 0 and O and L specifically.
Okay.
And Geohash uses a base 32 alphabet. Avoids ambiguity and errors. So one reason they gave is 0 and 1. So that we can take for I and O.
A and H?
A and L.
H,
Let
H.
me. L, A or H? H.
A-I-L-O, sorry, A-I-L-O.
So A and H are still, A and H does not.
A-I, not, just A. I and L-O, it's understood related to 1 and all of that, 1 and 0. What about A?
How about L? L you are saying too?
L, I'm saying it might be confused with 1.
Okay. Okay, so it is telling that because it is used as a flag for indicating errors. So I think they have given special maybe some status code to that. A means error.
Okay, got it. So let's see here. Three, 6, 8.
Oh. This Google Meet chat does not allow to send pictures.
No. Got it. Okay, nice. So something to dig deep into.
So other thing which I feel here that they can add probably for which maybe we'll not need that algorithm maybe to some level, that give better filters, right? So for example, you can ask me that, okay, how many people are there at your end? I'll say 5. Okay, how much order you are considering? Say 1500. Then what are your choices? So if you ask me or give me certain filters, because what people generally do is they put, okay, which is in the lowest maybe nearest distance kind of. But for that you have to select a drop down and then select a rate and then select a category, then select pure vegetarian. So if these options are given in a proper and way which people most often search, like, right, so you already have the filters, like person wants non-veg, pure vegetarian, all of this as a personalized filters. So if you have put those filters, because like because many a times when you're ordering from office, you know that company has a large budget, then people will order large size pizza. The same people, when they are at home, they might see, okay, in 160 I get 4 pizzas and everybody is there. So if those filters can be improved, right, so in that way I think the problem can be solved in a better way, instead of you showing me two, as we saw that those two pictures, right, in your actual app or somewhere you showed, right, those were unrelated items, like I cannot even relate to it. So if they can work on showing the good personalized filters which can create a dish. For example, I say, okay, there are 4 people at my place, all vegetarian kind of, I select, and 1000 is the budget. Okay, so it forms 4 5 combinations, or give me that, okay, in curries do you like paneer and all that stuff, just like a chat bot, or maybe giving me further questions. So I answer, then it tells, okay, these are the 4 options which fit in all your category, and you did the personalization in that way only, right? You, out of 100, maybe it can give me 4 or 5 restaurants, and that will satisfy everything, because it caters to my mood at that time, at that instant, what I'm thinking. Because Geohash can tell you, okay, in these areas, but there is a person who lives in front of my house, they are from Kerala. So they have, even though they are in this Geohash, maybe 80 people are ordering the same thing here, maybe they have that North Indian taste, but that person might be ordering something else, like he has a different taste, maybe he want
No.
food to be cooked in coconut oil maybe.
Yeah. So Geohash, I believe, is more to do with the restaurants available near to you rather than what you want. We build separate indexes
Okay.
for each geohash, since constructing a single index would mean that during inference, many of the nearest neighbor cards being fetched for a customer might be close by in the embedding space but far off in the geographical space. Distance between customer, thus
Okay.
not being serviceable. So I don't have much background in data science, and something that I plan to learn uh, maybe at that time. I'll be able to understand this article more deeply. At a surface level, yes.
But what do you think about those filters things? Like if that.
See, any solution uh, brings out its own problems. That I strongly believe, experienced, and learned. So it is easy to say now that, hey, why not there is a filter? What are they
Uh,
what are they trying to
uh,
solve? They're
So
trying. Yeah.
sorry to interrupt, Ajay. Since I haven't really read it, I opened the app, and what Gaurav said is somewhat available in its primary form. It says Chandra, what's in your mind, and then it has some options like biryani, rolls, kebab, and pancakes, and then this party icons and things like that. And just down there, it has a filter also. Of course, what Gaurav said is in a more precise format where the app or the application itself is interacting with me. Dude, are you looking for a party or a budget for four or something like that? But in the initial form, it is more or less available with some filters like free delivery, cuisines, having ratings, and so on.
So I think after you get into a restaurant, I think you get that, correct?
No. You just when you log into app and you select the food option, the first option you get is some offer tiles, then reorder from favorites, and the third one is your what's in your mind.
What's on your mind? And then there is
Yeah.
a delivery, and then there is a filter, Gaurav,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
talks about sort by, fast delivery, cuisines.
Where do
Today,
you see this? Okay, it's below. Okay, for me it's offer zone, something food fest gourmet, then guilt free. And
Yeah.
then I scroll down, then
so
Gaurav,
that
what's
is
on
the
your
row,
mind? Holy
correct?
Yeah.
special.
Yeah.
And below that, if you come below that, 30 minutes or less, do you see that section?
Yeah.
Below that section, you have a filter, sort by, fast delivery, cuisines. Today I ordered, and I saw this. Like, I mean, not this one. I'm just checking if did I see somewhere about the cost also, like within range, like how we see in Flipkart maybe. How we do have that in the same section, Gaurav. Rupees 300 to
Cost per
600.
two.
Yes.
Yeah. So those things are there actually. That's there even in Flipkart. So the way is to make it easier. Like I need not to
Scroll so much down.
yeah, something scroll and give me so if
And
I
normally
show you my screen, I can't show it. It is having 1 2 3 7 categories, and then I have to go to each of them, select what all them. So it's like a personalized combo. Give me recommendation in that way. So what I'm saying is they are doing a good thing, and yeah, lot of great work has been done, but the output should may not be 2 dishes, kind of
A
like
Swiggy
the-
light.
Hmm.
A Swiggy light. We don't want all the 100 dishes. I know what I'm going to order. Maybe 2 3 varieties. That's it, max. Right? Something like. Yes, ChandraBhan, you were saying something.
What basically I was just saying on what Gaurav already told is like when we are actually ordering the food, it is either a party or some occasion. So expecting a customer to really open everything and apply filter, it is not that I'm looking for an iPhone or something like that. Of course, cost matter, but it should be more personalized, as Gaurav said.
Got it. Interesting thing. I ordered a paneer dish today, just a side dish. And after maybe some time, I saw one more notification saying, "How about you round it up with a dessert?" So they know that I have ordered this. Now they are saying, "How about you finish up with a dessert?" I'm like, yeah, maybe if I was not paying attention, I'll tap on it and then order a dessert. Correct. So I think they're doing what we are expecting also. I don't know who is feeding each other. Are we feeding their feature list, or are they changing our behavior? I feel it's a mix of both. What do you think?
Yeah, I also feel it's a combination, because when we see on Amazon, I'm buying this, they will show people usually buy combination of this plus this plus this. So it's like they're tempting the customer in a way, and I'm like, no, I'm not buying whatever offer you give me. But sometimes it's a trap, and it's also like if I'm buying 3 books in a combo, and if I'm getting it at a lesser price other than individual cost of the book, it's a good deal. And I also feel, no, but this is not the combination I will eat. if I'm ordering this starter, how do you know this is this is the only option? You should give me more options also, no?
So I think it's both kind of it's a trap from both the sides. Like recently, like you will see that addiction videos. Most of them, what they say is like earlier, like when you used to use Facebook or Instagram, there is a certain level they will go. Like after doing that, they will say no more post to be left. But now it's like reels are there and it's infinite scrolling, right? You can maybe you will never end, but their feed will never stop. So from their side, they want more engagement. But at the same time, it creates sometimes for some products it's good. Like for example, Mahathee gave that Amazon, you are ordering something, maybe you need something, that recommendation, maybe you will pay a little more and you get a good thing. But at times, because there is a mind involved, right, which they can which get very much attracted quickly, right? That okay, there is, if I ate one thing today, then why not to eat the second thing? Like people who are on diet also ask, so cheat day, let me eat ice cream as well. So they might order that. So
Correct.
maybe bad for that health of that person or that overall well-being, but good for the company that there is more engagement. That's why they even bring on those things which are not even sometimes related, right? Amazon is having mini TV, so you can be there on their app, right? There is nothing to be for mini TV related for the app called as Amazon, who is mainly in the business of selling, right? E-commerce things.
True, true, true. Fantastic. So, what you mentioned about how folks get hooked. So, this evening I was, sorry, my voice is, I'm losing my voice. I discovered this particular website like 2 hours ago, and then BrainBridger.co, and here we have seen this, that this was why I brought this up, is to, when we were discussing, or like when you or Mahathee mentioned about how they force you or they highlight stuff and then you're forced to kind of buy it. So I was like, one of these is the one. I'm not sure which one, I'm just trying to find out. Is this what Swiggy is trying to do? With Swiggy suggest, users are more likely to take action when the effort is small. So let's go to memory and see if there are something. Peak rule, sensory, endowment effect, chunking, delighters, internal trigger. Okay, so let's go back to the article. Any thoughts on this? Thoughts, questions? Many people work on some things, but it's not just interesting, but it's mind-blowing to know how each of these small things are interrelated and how they form the bigger picture, right?
Ajay, but one question I had. Even in the current form of discussion, when we go to, like, when we discuss about verifying it or testing it, how would we actually go? I mean, as Gaurav said, will it be like you got this data set, then this data set, and this data set? When I'm saying data set, means you chosen party, you chosen price range, and something like that, and you should be getting the recommendation, or how one should approach on something like that. If my question makes sense.
Yeah, you are asking how do we test this? How do we test
Yes.
that whatever they have done is right or wrong? Or
Yes.
is there any problem here, right? understanding data science would be both a pro and a con to some extent. If you know the algorithm deep enough, then maybe you can get biased. If you don't know, then maybe you will be more like a user asking questions. So that is one aspect of how much should you know about data science and the algorithms. The second is, can you bring in your own questioning skills? Can you bring in your thinking skills and then design experiments and see if it works or not? Is there any interesting variation, outlier problems or not? That is one. And then finally, what problem are we trying to solve? Finally, is this solution, is this feature the solution to that problem or not? Whether it is a solution or not, what other problems does this solution bring in, or this feature brings in? And what risk are we okay to take and what risk are we not okay to take? Maybe questions around these, thoughts around these, brainstorming sessions around these will help you come up with your strategy. And being good at technology. I don't expect a single person to do all of these. You can have one person very good at tech part, they know in and out of what's happening. One person very good at data science, they know the algorithm, they are your SME and a tester, right? And this person is also a tester. And then there is a tester who is very good at connecting the dots, getting things done, unblocking stuff, connecting with stakeholders to get the information, organize it, plan it, right? That person. And then there is a person who maybe works well with data, right? So not the algorithm, but like maybe SQL and then big data and all of that, right? So, and then this combo, this team is what I feel has a greater chance than one person trying to become everything versus you bring everyone who is an expert in data science or just testing, correct? So that's my thought. Mahathee, Gaurav, what do you think on how would you test this?
So I worked on some project. So what I got to know, or in other forums also, I asked this question that how do you test these algorithms? So what they generally do is they have a data set, and firstly they train that algorithm to give some outputs. Then what they see is that we have to, like, firstly I would think is that what are the parameters actually, that firstly to test that whether it is working up to what they have designed for it. That is the main requirement. Then I can think of, okay, whether the other things are working fine or not, at least for which it is designed, is it working fine or not? So if I give those basic 4 parameters, then the output that is coming. So for example, they are taking care of location, they are taking care of the mood, they are taking care of that category. So if I am from that, or I have created a profile with that person, so the output that I am getting, so in all machine algorithms, they give a score to that. If it is reaching 80% or something, that means algorithm is working fine. So it cannot be 100% predictable because there are a lot of variation. So if it reaches 80%, so that is one way of testing an algorithm. So if I know that these are the factors, so for example, I'm testing a machine or something, and if I put anything random, let's say keyboard or something like that, and still it is producing some results or giving me some like in this app, which are not at all relevant or which are totally wrong, right? So then I can say that, okay, it did not work in that case because it gave me something. And then maybe the person or data scientist who has designed that, they will put the same parameters, and then they will have to improvise that algorithm. But initially, like whatever the factors on which the algorithm is designed, those ways, and then we can, in exploration, we can think of various things and playing with those factors on which the algorithm is designed, and then keep those factors aside and maybe talk to the users or see that maybe some production data, that how actually people are ordering, take some random orders, maybe pick some 100 orders out of thousands, and maybe mimic those users profile, that you get a cookie or something by which you are entering as that user, and are you seeing a relevant thing or not based on that.
So actual
Maybe
user data testing in a safer environment.
so, and also like maybe that user is the actual one to judge, but still maybe we can see add the human factor over there, that whether that is actually relevant or not. Maybe that person will never order that thing there.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Yeah, Mahathee. Mahathee, you're muted if you're speaking.
Yeah, so I feel such models or such systems, it's like similar to testing a chat GPT. GPT is never accurate. I mean, in terms of results, it's based on what data you're feeding or how intelligently you're using that system. So basically, there are some metrics. I am trying to recall them. One is accuracy, precision, and F1 score. These are the three things they take into consideration when they train an ML model. I remember that I've read this somewhere. So each time when you train, the accuracy keeps improving, and it caters to, I mean, it gives a precise result. Like similarly, how you test a chatbot is similar to how you test these systems in a single line, if I have to say.
Mm-hmm. Got it. And you have done a talk along with Anandita on testing.
Yeah, but we didn't touch this aspect. Now I get some ideas out of this that I can extend this in that way.
Got it. Good. So here is one talk.
Mahathee, why do you say that it gives wrong answers? I have seen very less. Like I have been using it for last 10-15 days, but rarely if I avoid those some LinkedIn post where people have maybe asked few basic questions, and sometimes only maybe very few.
Actually, I'm not saying in all the cases. I've used ChatGPT in phases, like initial, mid, and nowadays. I stopped using also in between, because to check how does it. I didn't see any LinkedIn posts or LinkedIn results, but initially it was not so great. I was thinking whether I'm not able to use it effectively or intelligently. So later, my way, kind of the way I searched or the way I tested to get whether check the results had improved. And similarly, now from the time I started using prompts for everything, I created prompts in the sense, if I'm a content writer, I have a script. I just only change certain terms. Like imagine I'm a content writer and I'm generating content for so and so thing. So can you generate a relevant post for this? So if I put it that way in the chat GPT, it gives me a better understanding. So that's the reason I told. I'm not saying that it always gives, but I had seen it in the initial stages, very initially when it was launched.
Okay. And the thing which you are mentioning, I can see it's there in Bing, which is being integrated with ChatGPT, where it gives these answers.
Yes.
That whether you want a more creative, more balanced, or more precise answer.
Yes.
For now, I have kept it only more balanced.
ChatGPT's capability with the new Bing engine is great. At least 3 days back, I've just checked something. So it is better. And recently, Rahul made me install a ChatGPT app kind of thing or something, where there were prompts. I mean, I enjoyed using that. I mean, I tried and tested all the prompts in different manner. So that's a great app to try.
Okay, nice.
Is this the one?
But it's really awesome. You asked that, okay, type an email for I'm not well today, and it gives a very generous and very good email that it can type for you.
It's not only that, like LinkedIn posts, content writing, hook lines, questions. I was very bad at asking questions, at least. I mean, I did not learn or master it, but at least it solves some problems. Okay, now that these questions are generated, from this can I create micro questions or sub questions? At least some people will think 10 is a too little small number. Can't you make it 30? So like that, some ideas I got from those answers.
Got it. So we'll take a quick 30-second summary from each one of us. Chandra, what do you think about this last 1 hour?
It's first of all, I should have come prepared and read, but even after that, it is a good learning for me, and of course, it opens a way to learn how a basic understanding of how data science and this suggestion algo should work and tested.
Thank you. Gaurav, 29 seconds for you.
Yeah, I think it's a good one that we took a topic which is a little different, and I have gone through it and I found it that how like people are thinking to add values in their products and how we can maybe think in a different way. And there is a learning like whenever I come in the session with you and various good things that you have mentioned about this braid and chat gpt prompt, so many things, data science triple it hyderabad. So I think we should meet often, and it is a good learning.
Yeah, so the next session, folks, when did I say it's 25 or March? What was the date?
26th.
March 26th. Okay, good. So, and we are discussing testing GPT based apps by Jason Arbon, the LinkedIn post. So, we'll discuss on March 26th. Thank you. Mahathee, any last 15-second thoughts?
Yeah, I liked it because it was a good engineering problem that I always wanted to have discussions around engineering problems, and rather than my perspective, I'd like to hear people's perspectives. At least Gaurav, the way he thinks always amazes me. Something to learn from him always, and I admire his. The best part about him is his simplicity in thinking. So people think and people put perspectives in a very complex way. Same like you, simple is beautiful.
Very nice. And yeah, so if you are a fan of engineering blogs, as Mahesh Mallikarjunaya has shared this with us long back. I'm not sure if it's the laptop or the internet, but it is just teaching me to be more patient, which I am welcoming. You did see that fail to load, and then now you are seeing this. So yeah, there you go. Lot of how many? 66 plus around 20, 30, around 100 engineering blogs. And then of course, how can we miss How They Test by Abjit Vaikar.
Yes.
Right, so okay, so till we meet again, enjoy, keep learning, keep sharing, and thank you all for joining us.
Thank you and bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.